Hey everyone, and welcome. So glad you could join me today. Let's talk about something we all experience, directly or indirectly, but maybe don't always think about in the most, exciting way. I'm talking about getting older. What's the first image that pops into your head? Maybe it's a quiet scene, a rocking chair, perhaps someone looking a bit frail, a bit confused by modern life. It seems like society often hands us this picture of aging that's mostly about decline, about slowing down, about fading out. We see commercials focusing on ailments, movies often portraying older characters as either grumpy or sweetly clueless. It's kind of a downer, right? But what if that picture is totally incomplete? What if it's like looking at a magnificent, intricate tapestry, but only focusing on a single, slightly frayed thread in the corner? What if getting older isn't just about loss, but also about gain? What if it's actually kind of an upgrade? No, sounds a bit weird maybe, but stick with me. Today I want to explore that idea. We're going to chat about ditching those dusty old stereotypes and looking at aging and the incredible older people in our lives and communities with fresh eyes. We'll talk about hidden superpowers, the immense value of experience, the joy of connection, and maybe even share a laugh or two along the way. Because honestly, some of the most vibrant, funny, wise, and downright interesting people walking this planet have been around for a while. And learning from them, connecting with them, simply seeing them fully, that can enrich our own lives in ways we might not even expect. Oh, and before we dive deeper, I'm super curious about who's tuning in today. It really helps me figure out what topics you enjoy, so if you feel comfortable, pop your age down in the comments below. No pressure at all, but it's always great to see the mix of folks joining the conversation, okay? Awesome. So, where do we start? Let's tackle some of those stubborn stereotypes head on, the ones that paint such a limited picture. First up, the big one. The myth that getting older automatically means becoming slow, frail, and inactive. That life shrinks down to the size of an armchair. Now, of course, physical changes happen. Our bodies do change over time. Nobody's denying that. Maybe we can't sprint quite as fast. Maybe opening that stubborn jar does require a bit more strategy. Maybe our knees make some interesting sound effects when we stand up. I know mine sometimes do, but does that mean life stops? Absolutely not. Think about it. Have you seen those videos of seniors running marathons? Or the grandmother who took up competitive ballroom dancing in her 70s? Or maybe your own neighbor who spends hours tending their beautiful garden, rain or shine? Or the countless older adults who are volunteering, taking classes, learning new languages, mentoring young people, traveling the world? Life doesn't just stop because the number on a birthday cake gets bigger. People adapt, they find new hobbies, they focus on what they can do, they show incredible resilience. Sometimes the energy and determination you see in older adults who are pursuing their passions can put younger generations to shame. It's not about denying physical realities. It's about challenging the assumption that those realities define the entirety of a person's life or spirit. It's about perseverance, about finding joy in movement and activity in whatever form works for them. Maybe it's chair yoga, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's just a daily walk. Activity and engagement look different for everyone, at every age. Let's not underestimate the power and vitality that absolutely exists in older bodies and minds. Okay, stereotype number 2. And this one drives me a little crazy sometimes. The idea that all older people are completely baffled by technology. The technophobe grandparent who can't even turn on a smartphone. Yes, there can be a digital divide. Technology changes at lightning speed, and if you didn't grow up with it, learning new interfaces, apps, and devices can definitely feel overwhelming. Let's be honest, sometimes I feel overwhelmed by the latest update or gadget, and I use this stuff every day. But the idea that all seniors are living in a tech-free bubble is just wrong. How many grandparents are now pros at video calling? Grandkids across the country? How many use social media to stay connected with family and friends, sharing photos and updates? I know seniors who manage their banking online, who track their fitness goals with smartwatches, who are part of online book clubs, who research, hobbies on the internet, and yes, even some who are surprisingly good at video games. It's not about age. It's about access, interest, and sometimes just needing a little patient guidance. Think about learning any new skill, playing an instrument, learning a language, figuring out a new recipe. It takes time, practice, and maybe someone showing you the ropes without making you feel silly. Offering patient help with technology can be a fantastic way to connect and empower an older person rather than just assuming they can't or won't learn. Let's ditch the condescending jokes and recognize that learning is a lifelong process, and plenty of seniors are embracing the digital world, maybe just at their own pace. All right, we've busted a couple of myths. Now let's talk about the incredible things that aging adds. Let's talk about those superpowers I mentioned. One of the biggest? Experience. Pure, unadulterated, lived experience. Think about everything an older person has witnessed and navigated. Decades of history unfolding not in textbooks, but right before their eyes. Social changes, technological revolutions, global events, personal triumphs and heartbreaks. They carry perspectives shaped by experiences we can only read about or imagine. Ask someone who lived through the Great Depression about resourcefulness. Ask someone who remembers life before the internet about communication and community. Ask someone who raised a family through challenging times about resilience and love. This isn't just nostalgia, it's a deep well of wisdom. Wisdom isn't just about knowing facts. It's about understanding context, seeing patterns, knowing what truly matters in the long run. It's emotional intelligence honed over years of relationships. It's problem-solving skills tested in real-world situations, not just hypothetical scenarios. And how is this wisdom often shared? Through stories. Older adults are often master storytellers. They hold the family histories, the community legends, the personal anecdotes that teach us about where we came from, about human nature, about navigating life's complexities. Taking the time to truly listen to those stories is like finding a hidden treasure chest. You uncover gems of insight, humor, and profound humanity. It connects us to our past and can offer invaluable guidance for our future. Have you ever sat down with an older relative or friend when you were facing a tough decision and just listened to their perspective? Often their experience can shed a whole new light on the situation, offering clarity you couldn't find elsewhere. That's the power of lived wisdom. This brings me to something incredibly important: connection. Specifically, intergenerational connection, bridging the gap between younger and older people. In our fast-paced, often age-segregated society, these connections sometimes don't happen as naturally as they could, and that's a huge loss for everyone involved. Loneliness is a massive issue across all age groups today, but it can hit older adults particularly hard, especially if they face mobility issues, loss of partners, or friends, or retirement from active careers. Feeling isolated and invisible is devastating for mental and physical health. But connection is a two-way street, and the benefits flow strongly in both directions. What do younger people gain? Mentorship, a sense of history and roots, invaluable. Life advice, patience, often unconditional acceptance, and learning practical skills, maybe anything from cooking a family recipe to basic home repairs. And what do older adults gain? A sense of purpose and value, feeling needed and heard, staying mentally stimulated, learning about new trends and technologies. See, not all technophobes, sharing their wisdom and simply enjoying the energy and fresh perspectives that younger people bring. It combats isolation and keeps them engaged with the world. Finding ways to foster these connections is crucial. It could be through formal volunteer programs, community centers, or simply making an effort within our own families and neighborhoods. Sharing a meal, playing a board game, talking about current events, looking at old photos together, teaching each other a skill. These simple interactions build bridges. They remind us of our shared humanity, regardless of the year we were born. We need each other. That sense of belonging, of being part of a continuum, is vital for a healthy society and for our individual well-being. Now let's be real. Aging isn't always sunshine and roses. There can be aches and pains, frustrations, losses. But you know what often flourishes alongside those challenges? A fantastic sense of humor and a whole lot of grace. Many older adults develop a wonderful perspective on life. They've learned not to sweat the small stuff. They can often laugh at themselves and the absurdities of life in a way that's truly liberating. Think about the witty comebacks, the dry observations, the mischievous twinkle in the eye. Sometimes, the funniest people you'll meet are those who've seen enough of life to find humor in almost anything. There's a certain freedom that can come with age. Maybe caring a little less about what other people think, being more authentic, speaking your mind, sometimes with hilarious results. It's about adapting to change, not always easily, but with a resilience that allows for finding joy even amidst difficulties. Learning to approach challenges with grace and humor is a skill, and many older adults are masters at it. It's another form of wisdom, knowing how to navigate the bumps in the road without losing your spark. Sharing a laugh is one of the best ways to connect, and often, older folks have the best stories and jokes if we just take the time to listen and laugh with them. So we've talked about why connecting is important and valuable. But how do we do it, especially if maybe we don't have older relatives nearby, or we feel a bit awkward initiating conversation? It's often simpler than we think. Here are a few ideas. First, and most importantly, listen. Truly listen. Put down your phone, make eye contact, and be present. Ask open-ended questions, not just, "How are you?" but, "What was the most interesting thing that happened to you this week?" or, "Tell me about a favorite memory from when you were my age." Ask for their opinions, their advice. Show genuine curiosity. Second, ask for stories. As we said, older adults are often walking history books and incredible storytellers. Ask about their childhood, their first job, major historical events they lived through, family traditions. What was Crystal Lake like when you first moved here? What kind of music did you listen to as a teenager? These questions open doors to fascinating conversations. Third, offer practical help respectfully. Maybe it is help with technology, setting up a video call, figuring out an online form. Offer patiently, without making them feel incompetent. Or maybe it's help with groceries, a ride to an appointment, or a small task around the house. Ask first, don't just assume. Fourth, share your life too. Connection goes both ways. Talk about your day, your hobbies, your challenges. Let them into your world. They often have great insights and genuinely care. Fifth, simple gestures matter. A phone call just to chat, a handwritten card, bringing over the person in front of you. So, as we wrap up our chat today, what's the main takeaway? I hope it's a shift in perspective. A move away from those limiting, often dreary stereotypes about aging towards an appreciation for the richness, wisdom, humor, and resilience that comes with a long life. Aging isn't just about winding down. It's about accumulating experiences, stories, and insights. It's about adapting, finding joy, and contributing value in countless ways. The older adults in our lives, our parents, grandparents, neighbors, mentors, friends, are not burdens or relics of the past. They are vital parts of our present, holding connections to our history and offering guidance for our future. Let's challenge ourselves to see beyond the wrinkles, beyond the slower pace, beyond any physical limitations. Let's see the person. Let's hear their stories. Let's value their presence. Let's make those connections. Whether it's reaching out to an older relative you haven't spoken to in a while, striking up a conversation with an older neighbor, or volunteering some time, take that step. You'll likely find it enriches your life just as much, if not more, than theirs. Let's build those bridges between generations and celebrate the full, complex, beautiful spectrum of human life at every single age. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this gave you some food for thought. Go out there, make a connection, and keep appreciating the incredible people around you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.